Hi guys, welcome to A Cumbrian Lad Outdoors and welcome to today's video. About a year ago, slightly more than a year ago, myself and Paul did Glenriddin Dodd and we're in the same area today. Parked up in the car park just in Glenriddin and we're walking the same route that myself and Paul took when we went to Glenriddin Dodd. However, when we get to the top, instead of turning right, we're going to hang a left and we're heading over to Sheffield Pike for a wild camp. I've got my good pals the Bewley brothers with us.
Yes, I.
Yes, I. At the moment, we are just at the very bottom of the short, steep climb that takes you up to Glenriddin Dodd. Right by the cottages, and you can clearly see the path that leads you up to Hole in the Wall on the way to Helvellyn. And if I remember correctly, this first little bit, although it is very short, it is as steep as you like. So by the time you see me next time, I'm gonna take a guess that we'll all be sat on our backsides, having our first break, sweating profusely. Right, let's go. We are now about 15 minutes into the walk, up that first steep section, and we've hit the first plateau for a little rest. You can see there clearly the path that we're going to follow up to Sheffield Pike, or maybe a little bit further, but to me that looks like that will be our destination for the evening. You can see the old mines at the end of the valley there, and more clearly now the path up to Helvellyn. And looking back to Ullswater, you can see how high we've ascended in such a short space of time. Yeah, we're just going to grab 5 minutes here, get a little bit of water on board, and then we're going to crack on again. We are now at the top of that first steep incline. You can see Daz and Andy just catching up, and this little footpath here goes up there, and that takes you up to Glenriddin Dodd. However, we are going to be following this little footpath here, and I think that bit there is Sheffield Pike. We've got a lovely cooling breeze going on at the moment, which is very welcome, and we've had some lovely cooling spots of rain, but that hasn't lasted very long at all. But this breeze is very, very welcome, trust me. It might not be that sunny, but it's really warm and muggy. And as usual, we are all sweating profusely. Again, we'll have another 5 minutes here, take some water on board, and then we'll mosey on up to the top of Sheffield Pike. Just up from where we were before, we now have a very clear view of Glenriddin Dodd and over Ullswater. We are just following this path here. As you can see, we've got a little bit more rain, which is very, very, very welcome, as long as it doesn't stay around too long. So we're going to crack on and get to that summit. Well, we are taking on some water, let me tell you. Lips are bone dry. I've probably drank half a litre already easy, and I've only got 2 litres with me. So I'm going to have to start rationing that, and let me tell you, that first beer at beer o'clock will last about 30 seconds. We're well over halfway now. We've reached another nice little plateau with some great views, so we'll have a quick look. You can see the village of Glenriddin there and the tail end of Ullswater. Hallin Fell clearly in view and looking right up to the top end of Ullswater there. We do have a little bit of a steep ascent here, and then we've got a flat spot undulating up and down before we hit the summit for the evening. And we have a clear view of Catsticam and Helvellyn there. Now originally this body of water in the bottom here we thought might have been Red Tarn, but it isn't. I will have to have a look on the map and see what that is, and I'll pop it up on screen, but Red Tarn is to the left of Catsticam as we look at it. Nice welcome wee break here, boys, eh?
Yes. Oh, yes, well needed.
Yeah.
Shattered, mate. Shattered. We
are out the breeze a little bit now. That was very nice, but we seem to have gone out with it. I think we'll get it once we get up on top though.
Feels like warm air now.
Yeah. Right, 2 minutes here and then onwards. Well, the sun's come out to play. The wind has dropped and it is absolutely baking. Looking forward to hitting that top and just having a bit of a rest, to be honest. Not unfit, just the heat. But we are almost at the top of Sheffield Pike now, and we haven't seen a single soul since we started off from Glenriddin. Almost there now. Almost there. Here we go. Sheffield Pike, you little beauty. Done and boshed. And what a view. What a view. Here's Daz and Andy just catching up, looking back the way we came. The view from the trig point right up a good length of Ullswater. We do have a couple of other people there just having a bit of bait. Great views all around. Absolutely glorious. Glorious. And as you can see, we've got plenty of choices of places to pitch the tent as well. I'm going to let Daz and Andy do their bit to camera here at the summit. We're going to go and get our chairs up and have that well-earned beer. Far too early to be setting the tents up just yet. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Chill out, have a beer, and I'll bring you guys back very soon. Well, we've been sat for a good few hours now, having a couple of beers and just generally taking this awesome view in. Absolute camping perfection up here. It really is. Look at that view. It's around about 5 o'clock now, so still a little too early to be setting up, but we haven't seen a soul for over an hour and a half now. So we are thinking about getting a cheeky pitch. We've found a couple of really nice places. So let's have a look where I'm going to be pitching my tent tonight. You can see the area where me and the boys have been sat out for a few hours now. And there's the summit cairn. But I have found a cheeky dip. You can see my rucksack there. And there is a grassy area that's free of bracken and what have you. Nice and flat. Slight tilt to one side. In a little bit of a dip, which gives me some respite from the little wind that we've got. So what I'm thinking of doing is pitching my tent this way. So when I open my door, I've got that view in the morning. The sun should be setting somewhere over there, which means I should get the sunrise out the tent door in the morning. Like I say, I'm well hidden here. So I'm thinking I'm going to set the tent up now. It means I can get some food on and what have you. Yeah, definitely time to get some food on after I've got the tent set up. And that should give me some good time to get the drone up and get some more photos for you as well. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we'll see you once I've done that. Well, that's me all set up. And as you can see behind me, what a cracking view out the tent. In my trusty Scarp 1 tonight. The weather forecast said we could get some quite strong winds and potentially some rain and thunder. So I erred on the side of caution. Pretty much standard setup inside for me. Seat Summit Ethelite XT Extreme. Not that I'll need it for the warmth tonight, but comfort most definitely. My OAX 1 season sleeping bag and my cheek pillow. Real Termat beef stew for tea tonight. And oh yes, you better believe it, the obligatory all day breakfast from Wayfarer for breakfast in the morning. 3 beers, my jet boil, tactical duck. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, we can't tell you. What an absolutely cracking little spot this is. It really took us all by surprise. The views are just absolutely epic. A fantastic place to visit, and I highly recommend you do so. Don't forget, I do have a little bit of merch going on. I'll put a link in the description, but I've got t-shirts, men's and women's, hoodies, men's and women's. I've tried to make them as fun as possible, like the beer o'clock and what have you, and the Cumbrian Yeti. They've got my logo on. You know, if you want to support the channel, you can do, and at least this way you guys get something in return as well. So once again, I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out and you fancy one. Thank you very much. Here's Daz getting set up. He's got another cracking view out of the vestibule of his tent. He's in the Vango Torridon on the UL80. Which sleeping bag is that, mate?
That is the OEX something over. 300.
EV Fathom 300, so like a summer sleeping bag.
Summer bag, mate.
Nice. Yeah, what a cracking view out the tent again. I think we've all got a belter.
Land, innit?
I was just saying that we haven't had one of these for a while,
No.
but it's kind of took us by surprise really. It's a relatively small Wainwright and the views are just epic, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. You can't pay for this.
Absolutely. Well, we do pay for it through the teeth, don't we?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, the old camping gear isn't cheap, but well worth coming up here. Let's go and see how Andy's getting on. Here's Andy in the trusty OEX Fox 2. My favourite tent. For the money, once again, probably the best bang for buck you can get.
Yeah, can't fault it.
Trekology UL80 again with a format underneath and the OEX Somnus down sleeping bag. EV600. And what we got for tea tonight, mate? We've got some chicken casserole, lime and coriander rice, and some Scotch eggs.
I've got some noodles as well that I might have with the Scotch eggs. These might come on another camp with us yet.
Oh, what we got hiding here? What have we got hiding here? Oh, he's got some twinnies. Now that we're all set up, it is definitely food time. The sun keeps coming and going, like I say. When it goes, it is a bit breezy, so it's quite cool. And the clouds are looking dark, so we might get some more rain. So probably the right decision to set up just now. Loving this, man, loving this. Right, most definitely food time. What a place to have tea to. Yeah, I've actually managed to get my tent set up, bang on. The wind's coming from over the top of me, so I'm perfectly sheltered with my jet boil here. So quickly boil this up, let my food rehydrate, and then it's most definitely scran time. What are we having for tea tonight, Daz?
Mate, we are having pasta, chicken and bacon salad.
Oh.
So I've opted for the noodles.
Noodles with Scotch eggs.
Yeah, I definitely think these will see another camp yet.
Yeah.
But if we get Peckish later.
That's the food of a king, that there, mate. I'm glad you're in a one-man tent on your own, because there's going to be some aroma kicking around tonight and in the morning.
It's going to be fruity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some tooting.
Yeah. I am on Real Termat beef stew. Real Termat for me are the best camping meals. The pulled pork is my favourite. And I'm accompanying that with the best camping beer, Brewdog Triple Hazy. Food and a brew with a view. Am I looking forward to this? So good. We've even got a plane buzzing past in the distance. Sounds like one of those chill out videos, doesn't it? Right, me and the boys are going to finish our food and we're just going to sit here and chill and take this awesome view in. I can't imagine there's going to be much else happening before bedtime, but if there is, I'll bring you back for that. And definitely before bedtime. So we'll see you soon. Well, that's me back in my tent. Me and the boys have had a good chat, sat taking these awesome views in. It's time to go to bed. And what a view out of the tent door. Absolutely epic Sheffield Pike. So like I say, I'm going to bed and we'll see you guys in the morning.
Deep within, here we go. But somehow I'm caught in the middle. Is this the end before we've even begun? Should I work against the flow? A drop in the ocean so endless, reaching for our moments miles above. I just need one. Diving in off, looking up. Life moves in waves, it keeps changing. Catch a glimpse of what was you and me. It's gone again, sinking in, back on the shore. One foot in front of the other. Close my eyes and feel you hold my hand just like you used to back then. These hopes dance high like sparks before they go out. But in that second, you're still mine. Diving in to all this endless space. Falling stars, but still I see you. A sweet escape, a lovely start, but letting go's the hardest part. Swimming in this deep, deep blue. I know I'm floating on this dream, but soon comes morning. For now I'll embrace our wondrous sea.
Well, good morning everyone. A cracking night's sleep. Woke up for the first time about 20 past 3 this morning, busting for a wee. So we sorted that out and I got my head down. It's now 4:15, so I had a nice little snooze and wide awake. It's quite light this morning. Got some lovely pinky colours in the sky overlooking Ullswater this morning. Maybe it doesn't look as pink on camera as it does to the eye. Daz is up. As you can see, he's getting buffeted by a little bit of wind. I'm not so bad in the dip here. Yeah, what a view to wake up to, man. What a view. Well, I think you guys all know what time it is right now. It's all day breakfast time. You've seen me scran that many times, so I'm just going to get that sorted. And then, sad face. And then it'll be time to go home. So we'll have a final look around before we do that and get packed down. Right, breakfast time. Well, breakfast went down a treat and we are getting a lovely sunrise this morning. Look at that, it is just behind the clouds, but it's a proper orange at the moment. Colours in the sky are absolutely stunning. This is why we do it. It never gets old to waking up to scenes like this, never ever. So me and the lads are just going to sit and chill for a few more minutes and then it's time to start getting torn down and thinking about getting our backsides down the mountain. Still relatively early, it is 10 to 5, but with it being so light so early, we're all wide awake now. Look at that. We did have a nasty little rain shower for about 20 minutes, so I was halfway through getting the time lapse of the sunrise and had to knock it off because I was using my phone rather than the action cam. So I've got it going again now. Hopefully it doesn't rain again, but yeah, chill out time and then time to pack up. Well, we have all got our sad faces on. We're just about all finished packing up now and about ready to head down the mountain. Like I said last night, Sheffield Pike has truly took us by surprise and blown us away. Relatively easy walk for some absolutely amazing views. You can see there, that's where I had my tent last night. Rucksack just about ready to go with my rubbish bag. So as always, and as it should be, I've left no trace. Here's Daz getting ready as well. You can see he's got his rubbish bag strapped to the outside of his rucksack.
Leave no trace.
Leave no trace. And Andy, you can just see his head popping up there. He's also doing the same, just underneath the summit. Thank you very much for clicking on the video. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we all have. So once again, until next time, stay safe, much love from a Cumbrian lad.